Hello and welcome to this edition of
Real Estate Beat.
He Beat Me to It, the Real Estate Beat. I'm Amy Atkins.
Mike Mina.
And we're here to keep you informed on what's going on in the market. And the market is shifting a little bit. It's changing. I want to talk today a little bit, Mike, get your take on, we've got some buyers out there, and the buyer seems to be a little bit hesitant. Still, there's some hesitation. Why don't you touch a little bit on where buyers' heads should be at based on what the market, what you see going on?
Well, I think that buyers are hesitant because of the affordability, obviously, because things have gone up since last year. But the price coming down 10% and interest rates coming back down a little bit early last week. We've had a couple upticks here and there and a downtick here and there. But I think where buyers' heads should be is that we really have no inventory at this point, as we can see, and we're starting to see prices level off and increase again. So that's kind of where I see the market right now. Now, what does that do for us? What should I be doing as Joe Buyer wanting to buy a property? I should be looking to buy something sooner rather than later. Mm-hmm. We said that on here before. I thought that we'd have like a little bit of a window between the time that interest rates were where they were and they go lower, and then I think all of a sudden it would be a couple months, but it doesn't seem like that. It seems like the sellers are on their game and they're getting multiple offers already.
Okay, so for an example, I kind of try to look at things through consumers' eyes, and I get emails all the time, Realtor.com, Zillow, whatever, I see it, price reduction, price reduction, price reduction, price reduction. So as a consumer, I can see how they would be easily confused that in the future, oh, it's going to go down another 10%. Oh, it's going to go down another 10%. Yeah, but that's not reality.
Yeah, if I price my 1979 Toyota Corolla at $29,995 today, and then I dropped it to $19,995 tomorrow, it doesn't mean it's still worth $19,995, or all of a sudden the prices are going up. No, I overpriced it to begin with, and I think that's an obvious of the market. And I think agents do what they can. They'll take whatever listings they can at this point, knowing that. But I would say that maybe 30 or 40% of the market is unsaleable. I don't know that number for a fact, but I would assume that there's properties out there that are just unsaleable at the prices that they're at right now.
Yeah, and again, we're in the business. We kind of are in the little bubble where we know, but for someone that might be watching, I'm watching the same homes on these sites being reduced, but the reality is they were way overpriced to begin with. Okay, so now they're kind of having to come back down into reality. But from an agent's side, what should they be telling their clients right now about buying if the client says, no, I'm just going to wait?
Well, I think it's everything from talk about what the higher interest rate now and the rates are going to come down. The fact that you're going to get an interest deduction on your taxes, I think that's a huge factor. So say you're paying 5.5% on a $500,000 loan, that's $27,500 that you're going to have as a write-off, depending on your tax bracket, which is typically the 24 to 32% tax bracket for most of our clients. Now all of a sudden they're going to be able to take that and write that number off. So are they renting? What are they paying in principal? Those are the things that I think are super important. Understanding that and having a lender that can back you up and show you all the numbers to your clients, I think is huge.
Remember when you came up with the term, we're going to go from bidders to bitters?
Well, yeah, I said you can be a bidder or a buyer. And I think right now you're almost to that bidder point where we have to be a bidder. And if you are not a bidder today, or if you're not a buyer today, you're going to be bidder in the future because prices probably will continue to rise. The only thing that will happen, maybe affordability will get better, but the question is do you want to wait for rates to get to 4% and buy then with prices up 10% higher, or do you want to buy now and be able to refinance at a 4% rate? And I think if it was me, I would definitely, well, I know if it was me, I would definitely buy now.
So there's a lot of momentum going right now. We're seeing multiple offers or things like that. So really this is kind of a window of time, and we're not just saying that to say that. There is this window of time right now where it would be a really good idea if you're thinking of buying to do it now.
Yeah, I was laughing. One of my loan officers in our meeting today says, I called everybody that's pre-approved with 5 or 10% down last week, and I said, you need to buy this weekend. He goes, there is no time to waste. And he was very adamant on it, and I try not to be that harsh and that strong with my clients. And I say, hey, it would be a great time for you to buy now, because what happened when we got into a bidder's market the last 2 years, or the prior 2 years, meaning not 2022, but maybe the first part of 2022, but 2021 and 2020, 5% down buyers didn't get their offer accepted. 10% down buyers didn't get their offer accepted. If they did, they put in multitude of offers to get that offer accepted.
Yeah.
So yes, that's a strong statement. Go out and buy this weekend, but I believe he's probably correct. I'm a little softer than he is. I don't believe that I'm softer than anybody, but I want to say that I would say to my clients, yes, I think that it's probably a really good time to buy.
So if you're an agent and you're watching this, definitely take note of this. We're happy. I know we kind of talked this morning with the team about reaching out to everybody that's kind of had their applications in and been pre-approved about, hey, you know what, you might want to dial it up and start looking. And if you're an agent and you kind of see that, maybe this will help you kind of get them off the fence a little bit too, because there are really good reasons still to buy.
It's funny. I think in my 32 years in the business, I think that I've talked about people getting off the fence most of the time. And our markets, we were talking in our meeting again today, when do we think that there will be a crash? Nobody thinks there's going to be a crash. It's impossible to have a crash here in Southern California with the limited inventory that we have. How many people think that prices could go down in the next 10 years? And pretty much everybody agreed there could be a point. But how high do they go before they go lower? That's the question. I mean, how high did gas prices before they went lower? That's a question. So we kind of took a little off the top last year, and now we're back to a part where, oh my goodness, prices are going to start rising again, or they have started rising again. It's just crazy because the affordability is not that good, but people are making more and more money.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So good information today. Thanks for sharing, getting your take on that, and feel free to share this with anyone that needs this information because it's really important. Again, the headlines, we see it all the time. The headlines with the media and all this information out there is they just are telling you the wrong stuff. It's not going to crash. There's no disaster coming. Now is the time to buy. So thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on
The Real Estate Beat.
The Real Estate Beat.
Beat, beat.